Tēnā rā tātou katoa. Today is Tuesday the 18th of October 2022 and we'll start off with oral questions, 12 questions to ministers, and I've chosen 2 questions that I'm looking forward to. Question number 7 in the name of Jan Logie to the Associate Minister for Workplace Relations and Safety, and her question asks, has she seen the Human Rights Commission's Pacific Pay Gap Inquiry findings that in 2021 the pay gap for medium hourly earnings of Pacific men compared to Pākehā men was 18.8%, and for Pacific women compared to Pākehā men was 25.1%. If so, what, if anything, is she doing to reduce the Pacific pay gap? Also, I'm highlighting question number 11 in the name of Todd Muller to the Minister of Agriculture, and his question asks, does he support the government's proposed agriculture emissions plan, which reportedly could reduce production from sheep and beef farms by 20%, and does he agree with federated farmers that the policy will rip the guts out of small town New Zealand? Following oral questions, we will have first up from the Honourable Michael Wood, the second reading of the Fair Pay Agreements Bill. This bill provides collective bargaining for fair pay agreements across entire industries or occupations. After that, we'll have from the Honourable James Shaw, the first reading of the Climate Change Response Extension of Penalty Transition for Forestry Activities with Low Volume Emissions Liabilities Amendment Bill. This bill will extend the transition period provided for New Zealand Emissions Trading Scheme participants with low volume emissions liabilities related to forestry activity. The House will sit under urgency for this first reading. Following that, from the Honourable Priyanka Radhakrishnan, we will have the first reading of the Worker Protection, Migrant and Other Employees Bill. This bill will improve compliance and enforcement legislation to deter employers from exploiting migrant workers. And then we will have the third reading of a bill from the Honourable David Parker, and that is the Fisheries Amendment Bill. And this bill that makes amendments to commercial and recreational fishing regulations and supports the commercial fishing sector. Also from the Honourable David Parker, we will have the third reading of the Hazardous Substances and New Organisms Hazardous Substance Assessments Amendment Bill. And this bill is a bill that improves the regime for the assessment and reassessment of hazardous substances. And then finally, from the Honourable Willie Jackson, we will have the second reading of the Māori Purposes Bill, and this bill makes technical and non-controversial amendments to Māori development legislation in order to contribute to Māori wellbeing and development by providing Māori entities with greater autonomy and reducing administrative compliance. Nō reira, tēnā rā tātou katoa.